Hello and welcome to another episode of my Odyssey in the world that I've created using my own brain. Today we're going to go all the way this way, just for geography nerds. Can you have a geography of a made-up world? Yes, I suppose you can. Geography is world, isn't it? And this is a world, therefore there is geography. Look, there's a river, for example. That's geography. There's a hill. That is also geography. So yes, if you're a geography nerd, this is the starting point right back in episode 1, right down there, my manor house. You can't see it because it's too far away, because obviously Minecraft has that limitation. That's because, there we go, now you'll be able to see it. Come on, pop up. It's just like the real world, isn't it? There we are. So that's where we started in the very first episode. So we're back here. The twin towers that I built are right over there. You won't be able to see them from this distance because they're quite a long way away. And today we're going to go this way, which is, I think, north. Yes, it's north, if I remember the map rightly. So we're heading north through this forest, and what I want to show you all today is the kind of underground city that I've built and other stuff. Just other stuff. I'll leave it vague for the time being. Who knows what we might find. The main reason for that, of course, is because I've forgotten. What's in some of these places, so just have to bear with me. Okay, first port of call then, this little house here. This was when I went through a phase of trying to build the ugliest house you could possibly imagine. And here it is. It is horrible. Nasty, nasty stuff. I think the idea is it's meant to be some kind of like witch's house, but it really hasn't worked. It's meant to be all kind of higgledy-piggledy, but it's in stuff, which is cats. Lots of cats for witches. Witches also need pumpkins and fires and brewing stands. This witch is clearly an alcoholic. If you go upstairs, you'll find the witch's little enchantment table. And do they have a bedroom? Do they sleep? Do witches sleep? This witch clearly doesn't sleep, so that's fine. Good for them. So yeah, that's a fairly old building, not one that I'm hugely proud of, but it adds a bit of character to this part of the world, because this part of the world is a little bit empty, really, to be honest, until we get to the other side of this forest and desert. So I'm going to walk quickly. I shall run. Obviously, building all these roads, I was determined that everything will be linked. If I built something worthwhile, then it will be linked to the rest of the world with a road. And all my roads are the same format. They're 2 blocks wide, stone bricks, and wherever possible there are bridges crossing rivers, and it's all meant to be as user-friendly as possible. But obviously the downside of that is it takes ages and ages and ages to build these roads, especially considering that I was determined to build them set into the landscape like that, rather than plonked on top like that, because I wanted it to at least look reasonable. And then fences and torches and all the rest of it. The sudden desert. Yes, indeed. Here we have, for you geography nerds out there again, something really ridiculous. We have a pine forest linked to a desert, which I don't think tends to happen in the real world for obvious reasons, because pine forests tend to be up in the northern and far southern hemispheres, and I mean deserts can happen there, but not quite so abruptly as that. So yeah, I mean Minecraft's filled with wonderful little errors like that, isn't it? We just have to live with that. But as we start to approach, we start to see mountains. Mountains, Frodo. And up there is one of my many little kind of personal mansions. I'll fly up there now. I like to build pleasant little houses all over the map. Places that, you know, would be quite nice to live in if this were real. And if all this was actually worthwhile, which obviously it isn't. So here we have one of my many mansions. Let's have a look around. You're meant to approach it from here, and I know I was saying that I like all my places to be connected with roads. Obviously, I haven't been bothered to do this yet, for obvious reasons. There is nothing down there at all. There's stuff over there, but it would mean having a path all the way down to that house, and then all the way around there, to the valley over there, and at the minute I haven't got the time or the energy to do that. But here's the mansion. As you can see, it's very modern looking, lots of marble, lots of stone and lots of glass. Lovely little waterfall feature there. As we go in, it's my mountain residence. It's got a very modern interior too. I made good use of the sea lanterns. Go upstairs. yeah, and here we are. This is the bedroom with a lovely bookcase, lots of books. And then the sun terrace with an eternity pool. Delightful. And I'll tell you what, that was a real tricky thing to build. I had to kind of look at all this. I've had to do this just to stop the drips, because the drips drive me around the twist. Come on, drips. Have a turn? Yeah, there we are. Look, can't have that, so I just have to put that there. Yeah, it was quite difficult actually to make that swimming pool work, but it's quite nice. It's quite nice just to sit here and look out over the horizon. Look at that, lovely. Ah, falling. Oh, there we are. So yeah, that's one of my many little residences. But I'm going to head this way now, and that building there is the entrance to my underground city. So let's go and check that out. This, of course, is a village that existed anyway. This is a random vanilla village. I've added to it a little bit, but not very much, to be honest. I've just kind of tarted it up a bit and added extra roads. Plenty of pumpkins there, which is quite nice. So I shall head through. Added a few hedges and things just to prettify the place. This was one of those villages that spawned really in a wrong position. It spawned on a hill, and everything was completely all over the place. So I had to fix stuff to make it look more real. Like, if I remember rightly, this didn't have a step there. It just spawned really badly. Really, really badly. So I fixed it. But here we have my underground city. And I say underground, what it really is a city that's set in a canyon. And we'll get a decent view here. So as you can see, this was one of those canyons that forms, a natural kind of chasm. And I decided to build a city in it, like a dwarf kind of place, you know, like in Lord of the Rings. So I'll show you how that works. So we go in here, and if we just want to move on, we just go over the bridge and away. But if we want to explore, we go down here. And basically what it is lots of different tiers of buildings cut into the cavern. It's not furnished, because I never quite knew how to furnish it. Some bits are furnished, like this library, but not much of it is. But the idea is that the inhabitants of this place, whoever they were, kind of built into the walls of the cavern and bridged it at certain points. It's got water, and it's meant to look a bit sort of industrial. And if we go down here, I think this leads to the throne room, but I can't remember. It's like a labyrinth. So here I am now, right at the bottom of the chasm. Look at that. Quite effective. It's quite nice. I think the only thing that would have improved it would be if the chasm was a bit wider, because it's just a little bit too narrow to get the full effect. But it's still pretty cool, and it goes all the way down here. And it's meant to be very industrial and full of mines and mine workings and stuff like that. I think night is falling actually, but it always gets quite dark down here. But I think that's quite a nice view. Once again, my favourite stone wall components being used there a lot. But if we go down here, we shall discover the real city of the dwarves. And this took a long time to build. It's meant to be a bit Moria like this. Here we are. The mines of Moria. Just endless tunnels. Well, not tunnels, like a massive, massive room with these pillars going up into the darkness. And bats. Good old bats. And this in the middle. Yes, this was fun to make. So you got a statue there, which is fine, but let's just ignore that, because this is the main business. This is my map. The great map. And what I've done is the wooden buttons are paths. The red glass are cities or towns, settlements. And the brown is mountains. The yellow is deserts, and the green is forests and swamps. So if we have a look, this is Wallapom. That's the capital, that one there. Then you've got Blackwood there, which I showed you a while ago now. That's the harbour town. Can't remember where I've shown you that. That's the castle. Over here is that bridge town and the big city of Helena. Up here is where that volcano is, and Blackwater, and the village of Faraway, and Kiziboo, and then we're here. You are here, look, nice little pink bit here. And we're heading this way. Hopefully going to see these bits and bobs today. But yes, this was something that I really wanted to do. Didn't quite know how to do it. And as you can see, to make it work, you've got to make it really, really big. But I quite like it. I quite like it. And it's fairly accurate as well. It's not mega accurate, but it will do. It's fairly accurate. So there we are. That's what this room is for. It's the map room. And also because I... Oop, don't look at that. That doesn't look great. And also because I could, and because obviously Lord of the Rings is a bit of an influence here, I decided to make a tomb. Here's a tomb. A bit like Balin's tomb in Fellowship of the Ring. And what I wanted was for that to shine a beam of light down, which it sort of does if you have shaders on. But as I haven't got shaders on, it sort of doesn't. So, off we go. Let's leave this place. It's meant to look a bit ruined here, you see. Things have caved in, things have broken in, and all the rest of it. It's all very exciting. But we're going to head out now, say bye-bye to the map, and head towards the surface once more. So off we go. Head up here, and I could either climb up to the surface or I could fly. I'll climb. I'll try and find my way out properly. So we'll go this way. This way? No, that looks like it goes down. This way go up at all? No. Says something, doesn't it? Can't even find the way out myself. Here we are. Yes, here we are. Follow the minecart. So this is the big bridge. There's a staircase. That's good. That's what we want. Up we go. So the colour scheme here, the flags and everything, is yellow and white rather than blue and white. I've got a yellow and white area, a blue and white area, and a green and white area. And I don't know, they're meant to be like different countries or something, I'm not sure. Not quite sure what the idea is. Ah, there's the throne room, sort of. How do we get out? Do I go this way? Yes. This will lead the way. Here we go. Oh. Yes. Oh. Yes. Oh. Oh. Every minute I think we're nearly there and we're not. No, I'm flying. I'm flying. It's too much of a complicated maze. Let's carry on going. So, if we scoot very quickly on wings through this part of the place, we're rapidly approaching one of my favourite areas. This is a nice little castle. Not going to give it much thought. We're going to head underneath this mountain pass, underneath this mountain range, through this tunnel. Here we go. And we appear at the end of this in the glens. There's two glens. There's Glengarry and Glen Ross. You'll only get that if you enjoyed watching films about real estate back in the early 90s, I suppose. But this is Glen Ross, and over there is Glengarry. Now I'm going to show you Glengarry, because Glengarry is meant to be very much like a Scottish landscape. And it's entirely purpose-built, the landscape over here. We have to climb up these stairs to get over the mountain pass. There's a nice little house here, just if you're interested. But this down here is Glengarry. Just emerge from the pine woods. And as you would expect in any good Scottish landscape, there are ruined castles, little crofters' cottages, and a whisky distillery. Because that's what you want. If you go to Scotland, you want whisky. Let's face it. So here we are. This is my mountain landscape. As you can see, this is entirely generated. None of this is vanilla. This has all been built by me. So wide open valleys, nice steep hillsides, and snow-capped glens. It's quite pretty, and I think it feels a bit Scottish. It does feel a little bit Scottish. It certainly feels cold. I really do think that. So there we've got a crofter's cottage over there. Look, that's quite nice. Up here we've got a ruined Scottish castle. I went for the Scottish architecture here. So tall, really tall windows, very high, austere looking building. But obviously it's fallen apart, it's fallen into disrepair. Here we are. That's the castle. And like most of these things, it's got little secrets. This is Castle Garry. And if I remember rightly, there is a hidden basement, I think. Is there? Somewhere? I forget. Yeah, it looks like there's something here. Let's check it out. Yeah, here we are. A hidden basement. old prison cells. Yeah, nice little touch. Nice little touch. Yeah, the idea is the staircase is collapsed in, so, but I can never remember where that is, so I have to break in like that instead, which is not great, but there we go. There we are. So the idea of this is all the floors have gone, the fireplace with the chimney going up. I've tried to make it fairly realistic. This will be the Great Hall, I suppose, another fireplace, another chimney. Nice building. Yeah, it's nice. It's one of my favourite ruins, that. One of my favourites. But we should head, before the end of the episode, we should head over here and check out the distillery. So as you can see from this height, you can see the Scottish landscape, really. These lakes, I suppose they'd be lochs, wouldn't they? Snowy hills, pine forests, more ruins, and yes, a distillery, all of my very own, nestled in that little valley there. I could build more here, I suppose. I really could do, probably should do, but probably won't unless I get a lot more time. Here we are, the Lavagulin Distillery. So we've got all the bits that distillery would need, the offices, and then through this little passageway we've got the aging room with the barrels. Lovely barrels there. And I don't think there's anything in them. No. Sadly, obviously. And then over here we've got the still room. This is where the stills are. A still is a kind of copper construction where you make the whiskey. It evaporates into the pipes and then condenses back down into the delightful amber liquid that we enjoy. This is the spring, so this is where they get the water for the whiskey. Yeah, a bit of a geeky thing, but I do really like good Scotch whiskey, so it was quite fun to build a distillery in the Scottish landscape. This is the storeroom, which is really boring. It's just loads of boxes. So there we are. We'll end on that note, I think. That is another section of my world. Hope you liked it. I will do another video soon. Okay, goodbye.